Yo, 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 yo. Mic check, what it do? We are back with another episode, man. We are back with another episode. I appreciate each and every person that shows up to these, watches these on the rewind, watches it live. Salute to the live YouTube chat. Make sure that we like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Turn that notification bell on so you know we're live. Obviously, we have a few things to talk about on this Monday afternoon. Few things to talk about on this Monday afternoon. Obviously, you see the title, right? Is Wemby the best center in the league? Are the Celtics now the favorites to come out the East? And the Houston Rockets are a mid basketball team. What is up? What is up? What's up, Two Clutch? What's up, Key? What's up, Smoke? What's up, Todd Smith? A lot to talk about again. Make sure you like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. Let's start off with the first question. Obviously, is Wemby the best center in the league? Now, let me say this. Do I think that he is that consistently? Probably not, right? And that's why I'm a Wemby hater because I don't think he's the best player in the world 24/7, right? I do think, however, and this was, what me and Mars alluded to earlier on the panel, I do think that Wemby hits these highs where he is the best player in the world for games at a time, right? When Wemby has it going offensively, those games you can very easily argue he's the best player in the world. The impact defensively is just immeasurable. If you have non-spacers on your team, you're cooked against Victor Wembanyama. Even if you have spacers, still his level of rim protection is undeniable, unquestioned. Him in drop coverage is still amazing. So I am kind of coming around to this conclusion of when he does have it going offensively, that is the best player in the world. You know what I'm saying? Whether we like it or not, whether you feel like that it's a bit too early, I just feel like the impact and the value is provided to reach those heights and to comfortably say that. Right. The next step for Wemby is consistently being a good enough offensive player for that to be sustainable for large amounts of time. Right. Because I do still think he's kind of an inconsistent offensive player. But even as I say that now, let's talk about value as far as offense and defense for an individual player. For a long time now, we've been kind of saying, well, it's more valuable to be the better offensive player, right? It's more valuable to be the better offensive player because it's easier to hide a person defensively if they're a bad defender. Yada, 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 yada. You've heard the spiel a million times. We don't really have to repeat it. I'm starting to fight against that logic. I'm starting to fight against that logic. The two players that we're about to discuss, obviously, well, three. I'll throw. Well, let's do three. Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, obviously, because that is who many would assume is the best center in the league. But then just another one of these examples I want to use is Luka Doncic. The the assumption of, well, I can put players around Jokic or Luka that can lead to good defense, thus meaning them being a negative defender doesn't matter as much because they can be these offensive engines, right? That still lead to elite offense. That is the hypothesis, right? But their team, number one, is still very much involved, even in being the elite offense. There was a conversation that we had on the panel. I don't think I was there that episode, but there was a conversation they had, and Penn was like, "No, I was there," and Penn was like, "Oh my god, this is so dumb. Of course, you need Aaron Gordon to be a good defensive team. Look at when Aaron Gordon's on the court, and you know, Jokic fans say this. Look at when Aaron Gordon is on the court, they have a good defense, thus meaning that Jokic still can't be a bad defender if they have good defense when Aaron Gordon is on the court. And Jokic is participating in the good defense by having good hands and rebounding and, you know, the dumbass spiel that we hear, right? But that logic is never flipped. That logic is never used the other way around. Here's what I want to show y'all, right? The new best website in basketball discourse, Data Baller, right? Oh, man. The new best website used in basketball. Let me show y'all something. Here we go. Share screen. Boom. I want to show y'all how this argument is never used the other way around, because then it shows how dumb of an argument it is, right? When Shai and Lou Dort are on the court together, they have a 119.8 offensive rating, which would be like top 5 in the league, right? Nobody would ever then say, though, that Lou Dort is a good offensive player. You see what I'm saying? Nobody will say that. Just because we can still produce elite offense with you on the court because it is tied to another player doesn't mean all of a sudden that Lou Dort is a good offensive player. Right? And even Dort can provide some good things for you offensively. He can usually the past 2 seasons, I don't know what he's at this year, but past 2 seasons, he hits open threes at like a 40% clip. Right? There are some positive things and metrics that Dort can provide as an offensive player. He's still a bad offensive player. But when it's the other way around, when it's, oh, when Jokic is on the court with Aaron Gordon, the Denver still has a good defense. Yeah, but Jokic is still a bad defensive player. And it still matters. And so when we look at a player like Victor Wembanyama, right? When we look at a player like Victor Wembanyama, even with his inconsistencies as an offensive player, he is still providing one elite value at all times, which is defense at all times. And is Victor Wembanyama a good enough offensive player and or threat to where him being an inconsistent scorer shouldn't still leave him out of best in the world talks? I'm coming around to this idea, right? Because even I have been jaded. When a lie is repeated enough, it becomes the truth. And we are here, chat. We are here, YouTube viewers, to take back the sport of basketball. We're taking back the integrity of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking back the integrity of the game. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Because this idea that if you're not this level of offensive player, you can't be the best when you're this good defensively is false. It's not right. Especially when the player that is considered the best in the world is that flawed of a defensive player. What happened? The NBA and basketball that I grew up on, complete players mattered. Huh? LeBron James needed to not only be a good defensive player, not only did he need to be a solid passer, but then everybody was like, oh, LeBron ain't got no post game. He was already the best player in the league. Kobe needed to learn how to pass and play make while still being a good defender, while being the best scorer in the league. It took all of that to be considered the best. Nowadays, we just justify people's flaws that we like. There used to be you needed to be considered damn near a flawless player in the NBA that I grew up on to be considered the best. No longer is that the case. No longer is that the case. No longer is that the case. Basketball has been hijacked by true shooting, offensive rating, and nerds. No disrespect to nerds. I'm a bit of one myself. So this isn't I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just stating the facts. I'm just stating the facts. And the reason why I have been getting into the numbers is so that I can be able to use them against them when it doesn't fit the narrative that they want the numbers to fit in. Right? Relative true shooting matters for SGA being better than Kobe until we get to the playoff runs. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Being the best offensive player ever matters until we get to the playoffs. Then all of a sudden, when LeBron is massively outplaying him as an offensive player, it doesn't matter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Lake Show Jerry, you are right. The first player, it's at least from my generation, because obviously Magic Johnson was a part of this, right? But the first player that got this push was Steph Curry. 2016, Steph Curry had people thinking, you know what? Being a bad defender doesn't really matter, right? Until we saw Kyrie absolutely flame him in that finals run and LeBron be clearly the best player on the court because he was good on both ends. I don't know when we got to a place where not being good on both ends of a sport that has two ends that you play is not required for you to be the best. But we're here now, ladies and gentlemen. We're here now. We're here now. And so if we are accepting flaws in our basketball players, because it is very hard to be a flawless basketball player, right? It is very hard to be good on both ends of the court. But whoever said that being the best in the world was easy? Oh my goodness, I'm preaching. I'm preaching better than y'all saying amen. The standard for being the best in the world should be a hard standard. We can't just be giving that out all willy-nilly. You can't just be giving that out all willy-nilly. But if we are here accepting major flaws in our players, then why isn't Wemby the best player in the world? I need somebody to explain. If we are accepting flaws, why can't Wemby be the best? Why can't he? From how some of y'all judge basketball. Not how I judge it, but how some of y'all judge basketball. I'm trying to figure out why Wemby can't be the best. He's all-time dominant on one end of the court while still being one of the most impactful offensive players in the league. Right? So what happened to it? What happened to that? Because now all of a sudden, if you talk about skill set, who cares about skill set? It's just about the numbers, right? Who cares? Skill set used to matter. Like I said, niggas with LeBron, we don't care that you're averaging 37 and 8. You ain't got no post game, nigga. I remember those days. Skills used to matter. That's why we were high on Kobe. That's why people were high on Michael Jordan. Wasn't just the winning, it was the skill set. But now when you bring up skill set, casual, who cares? Who cares about a skill set? What is his net rating? What is his net rating? Give a fuck about a skill set? Is he plus 10 relative true shooting? If he's not, I don't care. We're here. We're here now. We're here. Your hate on Jokic is getting a little crazy. If you think this is just about Nikola Jokic, you can get the fuck out my chat immediately. This is about basketball discourse. He spearheads what's wrong with it, yes. But this is about basketball discourse. This is bigger than Nikola Jokic. This is bigger than him. This is bigger than him. This is how we have gotten to a place where we discuss the sport like we do. All right. But if we're going to discuss it like this, I need for them to tell me or explain to me why Wemby isn't the best already. I need somebody to explain me that. Let me go to San Antonio on here. The world's most famous and greatest website. Wemby has a 14.2 net rating, excuse me, this season. Nikola Jokic only has a 10.8 when he's on the court. Hello, is this thing going? Did they hear me in the back chat? Did they hear me in the back? Huh? Huh? Let me see this thing in the playoffs before I think he better than Nikola Jokic. Now, mind y'all, Zach Lowe in 2021 was on ESPN regularly telling us that Nikola Jokic was the best player in the league. If you remember, you remember. By 2021, Jokic hadn't really done nothing too impactful. 2020, they had a cool little run in the bubble, but some could argue Jamal Murray was, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Jokic has a better on-off swing. To be fair, yeah, that's because Wemby's team is better. So keep that dumbass shit to yourself, right? It's not going to swing as much if they can survive Wemby off. Remember the Wemby off minutes, right? All right. So look, I think Wemby is competing to be the best in the world. Um, he's already one of the more impactful players in the league. That is just an absolute fact. And we shall see when it comes to Victor Wembanyama. Now, as far as his playoff, uh, how he looks in the playoffs, we shall see. We shall see. I got two super chats I need to read real quick. Teams are too deep, and the 4 to 15 guys generally are too skilled to hide guys, especially centers. It's not 2016 where Andre Roberson is playing 30 minutes per game. I mean, what is Asard Thompson? But Asard is probably more useful offensively. But I get your point. MVP and DPOY are regular season awards. So all this talk about Wemby, haven't done it in the playoffs, is cope. Keep cooking. Yes, sir. And I will keep cooking. Appreciate you with the super chat. Appreciate you with the super chat. Right? From what I'm saying now, by the way, is what has me saying that SGA is the best player in the league. I wasn't there, as y'all know, I wasn't really there to begin the year. All right. But as I'm getting back to my basketball roots and my basketball beliefs, SGA is the best player in the NBA. Right? The skill set is there. That is important. The skill set for me is there. The two-way viability is there. And the impact is there. Right? It's cool that he is like plus 15 or whatever, but I swear, I promise you, that doesn't matter to me anymore. Bro, I'm not finna be saying one player is better than another because one is plus 8 and the other is plus 17. That shit is stupid, y'all. We have to stop doing that. I'm sorry. Because if it's getting to the point to where if you just know the metrics and don't even watch these players play, you can still make the argument. The fuck efficiency matters, bro. Look at this. Look. Who said efficiency don't matter? But efficiency can be overrated if you don't watch. For example, let me look up something right now. Good. Luka this year has a 61.4 true shooting. Right? Let me see. Two 2024. Luka has the same true shooting right now as he did in 24. I promise you, he was a better scorer in 24. But if we just look at efficiency numbers, he's the same score level of scorer right now. Anybody that has watched Luka Doncic in 24 and this year knows 24 was a far superior score than what we've seen this year from Luka Doncic. If you look at true shooting, though, it would suggest he's been relatively the same. Why? Because he's been twerking it up to get to the free throw line. What's the difference? Go watch him play. Go watch him play. Nah, I'm not finna sit here and explain basic shit to niggas. Go watch him play. Watch the games. That's how he's better. Go watch 24 Luka. Go watch the 70-something games he played. They're all available on NBA League Pass. Go watch him. Then go watch all the games this year and then tell me he's the same nigga. Tell me that. Tell me that. Now, to the next subject. Shout out to Wemby. Actually, before we close there, I probably in my player rankings, I would probably have Wemby. Um, for me personally, SGA one. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm still respecting Giannis until further notice. I'm sorry. I know we've thrown him down the drain because he's been hurt this year. But I'm not just saying like this year. I'm saying my overall just player ranking. I still have Giannis at number two. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, again, I'm not. This is not my this year ranking. I'm saying overall player. Still taking Giannis at number two. Probably got Wemby at number three. Um, and then Jokic and Luca, you whatever number you want, 3, 4, 5, or what is that? 4, 5, 6. You know, 4, 5, 6, whatever order you want. You know what I'm saying, but SGA, Giannis, and Wemby to me are the best players in the league now. They're the best players, and I'm tired of acting like they're not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Defense matters, guys. On an individual level, it still matters. Even if we can cover it up in a team scheme, in a team setting, I'm still docking you for being a bad defender. I'm not just going to say, well, we can hide you, so therefore I'm not going to lower your individual impact. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You might actually be dumb. Okay, well, you finna be actually banned. Give me 1 second. Because if I'm dumb, I don't know why you here.
Your perfect domain is out there. Go to Wix and make it yours. Claim your space online.
Yeah.
Own your name,
There
your
you
brand, and
There
make
you
it
came,
yours.
there you went. There you came, but there you went. Right. It's an individual sport when it fits your narrative. It's a team concept where you need to cover up a deficiency. No longer doing that. I'm no longer doing that. I'm not giving one player all the credit for offense and then say, hey, a team concept that's to cover him up defensively. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No longer doing that. We're going to judge players on an individual basis. We're going to judge your individual ability as an offensive player and as a defensive player. We can't just talk about overall impact when that is still team dependent. I want people to realize that one player's impact, it's still dependent on the team. I'm going to say that again. One player's impact is still dependent on the team. The reason why Jokic can still be that impactful offensively, right? He wouldn't be as impactful if them niggas he passed to couldn't shoot. Like it's impact is still dependent on your team. You disagree with that, then disagree with it. Disagree with it. I'm judging players on the individual basis. That's how we should judge players. We're doing individual ranking, judge them as individual players. Because impact is still depending on teams, teammates, coaching. That's all relative. It's all relative. It's all relative. So I don't need Jokic, and this is what I'm saying because I'm not saying offensive impact doesn't matter, right? But I don't need Jokic to be a plus 15 offensive player net rating wise for me to know he's one of, if not the most impactful offensive player in the league. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm saying let's use our eyes to judge these things. That's all I'm saying. If Jokic was still like just +8 this year offensively, he would still be the best offensive player in the league. You get what I'm saying? He would still be that, right? Bring back this is gonna be my last word on this word on this, and then we're gonna go to the next topic. Bring back when stats were used to support your argument and not dictate it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say that one more time for the niggas in the back. Bring back when stats supported arguments and then dictate them. Let's move on to the next subject. Um, are the Celtics now the favorites in the East? Um, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've been sticking with my Knicks pick. I've been sticking with my Knicks pick. Um, I wasn't anticipating Jason Tatum already looking this good 2 games back from. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm I think the Celtics are the best team in the East now. I'm not gonna lie. That I'm just keep it real with y'all, man. The Celtics the best team in the East. I'm going to stick with my Knicks pick, but I know the Celtics are the best team in the East. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm just um let me read this super chat. Never understood Jokic Glaze when he been outed in the second round the last 2 years. Health obviously counts, but the Glaze can't just be because of PRA. Well, it's PRA and true shooting. Don't forget the true shooting part. Don't forget the true shooting. Again, shout out to the 180 plus we got here. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe if you're not subscribed, turn on that notification bell so you know when we're live and when we drop another video. Appreciate y'all being here, man. Good turnout. Good turnout. The Boston Celtics, that display that they had against Cleveland, I did watch that game. Number one, let me say this: Cleveland, I just can't ever believe in that team, man. I don't know if it's Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if it's James Harden. I don't know if it's Evan Mobley. I don't know if it's Jared Allen. I don't know if it's the combination of all four. I just, I can't. I I can't do it. I don't see it. And I know that's how a lot of people feel about the Knicks. I do know that. I know that's how a lot of people feel about the Knicks. But now with Tatum back, Boston now has another ball handler, another playmaker, another passer. Like Tatum was handling the ball a lot already in that Cavs game, right? He kind of, with Tatum being back and already being this good, it's slotting everybody back to where they need to be. Jaylen Brown now can just score the ball for the most part. You see what I'm saying? Although he has gotten better as a passer and a playmaker, you know what I'm saying? I definitely understand that. But, you know, his best asset is scoring the basketball. And that's what he's now slotted to do. You see what I'm saying? Derek White now doesn't have to go out here and be something he's not. This 20-point per game score or something like that. Doesn't have to do it. Now he's still going to have nights like that for sure, but it's not like a requirement. You know what I'm saying? With Tatum being back, what it does is it lowers the threshold of of play for everybody on that roster. Right? Jaylen Brown doesn't have to be that good anymore for the Celtics to win. Neither does Derek White, neither does Peyton Pritchard. But there's still going to be, obviously, there's still going to be nights where they are still that good. And with Tatum, that just puts them over the top. That just puts them over the top. Let me read this super chat. Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, Shai, and Luka, top five. Being on it all year with Wemby, week basically. Overall impact is the metric. Jokic offense carries him to two. Appreciate the super chat. I would disagree, but appreciate the super chat. Um, Another thing, though, I will say this. Let me say this. Let's talk about the need for efficiency, right? A player like Jason Tatum, right? A player like a Cade Cunningham, a player like a LaMelo Ball, a player like a Devin Booker this year, right? When we get to rating players, we often use inefficiency as like a knock, but not just like a knock. It's a pretty substantial knock to try to diminish players and their value. But every player I just named is inefficient, yet one of the more impactful players in the league and for their team. Devin Booker is having an abysmal shooting year this year, especially from three. But the assortment of all the skills that he possesses, being a ball handler, being a good pick and roll player, being a good passer, being a good playmaker, right? Look at LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball for the past 2 or 3 seasons, if you do look at the advanced metrics, has been one of the more impactful offensive players in the league while he's only shooting like 40% from the field. He's been one of the top, as far as impactful, I want to say like top 10 offensive players in the league, back-to-back seasons. She's shooting 39% from the field this year. Cade Cunningham, obviously. We see Cade go out there and shoot tour dates regularly. He still has that. The Detroit Pistons are a top 10 offense. That right there is Cade's MVP case. Damn the record. Damn the record. The Detroit Pistons have one of the 10 best offenses in the league. They should not be, for obvious reasons. Niggas got like one shooter in 2026. Ron Holland plays regularly, or Sword Thompson is regularly on the court. Isaiah Stu. These are mid to bad offensive players. And they have a top 10 offense. Salute to that youngster, Cade Cunningham. Salute. These guys are good offensive players. I'm finna ban you. Yeah, I'm finna ban you. If you trying to tell me that Ron Holland and Sword Thompson are good offensive players, Duran is. Did I name Duran? Do niggas listen? They are though. Not facts. Not facts. Ron Holland is a good offensive player. Not facts. 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 Hold on. I got something for you. Wait a minute. I got something for you. You said Ron Holland a good offensive player? You said Osar good. Hold on. 1 second. You said good. He had to get banned. He had to get banned. He had to get banned, L dog. I was just gonna time him out. He had to get banned. He had to get banned. I was gonna time him out for about 3 minutes. So bring him back. Unban him. Unban him. Just timed out. Okay, okay. For how long? For how long? For how long? I'm just. I'm not just. I'm just not. I'm not with the foolishness. Real talk. You're gonna only cover basketball topics on this channel. I'm thinking about covering other topics, but I think to do that, I'm gonna start another channel. But that's gonna be after I get this channel to where I want it to be. Ron Holland, not a terrible offensive player. Did people not hear me say mid to bad? Did they not hear me say that? So at best, what I'm saying is they're mid, some of them players at best. At best, Ron Holland is a mid offensive player. At best. Okay? Listen. Use your cabeza. Huh? Start listening, folks. Let's start listening. However, yes, I do have the Celtics as the favorites now. I'm still gonna say New York Knicks are still my pick. I like what they did against Denver this weekend. However, the Knicks are a funny team. Again, I keep telling y'all, man, the Knicks and the Timberwolves to me have so many parallels, bro. When they are playing at their best, they can beat anybody. It's how often can they hit their ceiling and can they maintain it and be consistent with it? That is the question for those two teams. That is the question for those two teams. I don't think anybody can question, are they good enough? Their statistical profile for both teams says they're good enough. It's, will they be that level of team consistently enough? Now, for some, that's an obvious answer. But the reason why I keep holding out hope for teams like Minnesota and what you call the Knicks is because we've seen teams like the Pacers last year make a finals run. The Pacers were not some consistent powerhouse last year, right? They weren't. Even the Timberwolves last year. That first half of the season was kind of shaky for both. But guess what? They hit their stride at the right time, post All-Star break. They got it together. The Pacers were like a top 10 offense and defense post All-Star break. And then when you hit your stride at the right time, that can take you places in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? You cut out. What'd you say about this? What's up? What's up? So that's why I'm still holding out hope. That's why I'm still holding out hope for those two teams. But I do have the Celtics as the favorite to come out the East now. The reason why, again, I wasn't anticipating them being this good already is because I just wasn't anticipating Jason Tatum to look like this already. I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I thought it would take some time for him to kind of get back. And I don't think like he's all the way back right now. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like if this is the worst he's going to be as time progresses, then they're going to have a good enough Jason Tatum to come out the East. It's basically the new conclusion I'm coming to now with the new information and the new baseline for Jason Tatum. I thought it was going to take him some time to get to this level of player. But he's already that. And he still has some more ramp up time to go. So with that in mind, I have Boston as a favorite to come out the East. Now let's get to the Rockets. The Rockets are mid, bro. I said this on PC earlier today. I'm gonna say it again. I have the Rockets and the Lakers the same tier of team, and I think they're both first round exits unless they play each other in the first round. So somebody has to win. Like it's they're mid. They're just a mid basketball team. Mid as far as of good teams in the league. Obviously, they're not, you know, an actual mid team, but like they're just not on the level of these other offensive, well, not offensive, but just other elite teams. They're just not on that level. Sengun is not good. Yesterday, the Spurs offense was who he guarding. Oh, Sengun Garden Castle. Here you go, Castle. Here go the ball. Sengun on Wemby. Here you go, Wemby. Here go the ball. It was Nat. He was out there looking like his role model out there defensively yesterday. It was bad. And he's just not a good enough offensive player. He's just not. He's just not. The touch isn't good enough. The shooting isn't good enough. The processing isn't good enough. The passing isn't good enough. And I continue to say, I will give him the out of, Houston isn't the greatest offensive environment. It is not. It's not by a long shot. In fact, this is why I have also reconsidered. I now have Kevin Durant in my top 5 MVP standings. What Kevin Durant has been doing in Houston, realizing the environment that he's playing in, the teammates that he has, and what he's been doing on both ends of the court. The Rockets, if they finish top 4 in the Western Conference, I think Kevin Durant deserves to be top 5 in MVP voting this year. I really believe that. There are possessions when you are watching the Rockets play, and it's like, oh, we're helping off Min and Tari. And if Sengun is out on the perimeter, we're helping off him too. And now Kevin Durant has 3 defenders in his face. And he's still shooting over 50% from the field, over 40% from 3. And he's been like their second best defender this year. So I want to apologize to Kevin Durant. I want to apologize to KDFC because he's been amazing this year. He's playing the games. Like Kevin Durant's been really good this year. Does he have flaws in his game? Absolutely. But the good is still heavily outweighing the bad when it comes to Kevin Durant. Yeah, it's not his fault. The Rockets don't have a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not his fault. That's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? Do I agree with everything he does off the court? Absolutely not. Um, you know what? I'm gonna just leave it at that because the next thing I was gonna say was gonna be kind of disrespectful. Why do you think Raphael Stone made no moves for a PG at the deadline? Been wanting to ask this for a while. I have no clue. Zero clue, J Mill. There was a point guard I was saying for every team that considers themselves a competitive team that doesn't have a lead guard, which there were a few of them this year, right? Cleveland needed to look at it because of Darius Garland's health situation. Obviously, Minnesota needed a point guard. Obviously, the Rockets needed a point guard, and Cleveland got the point guard. I was saying that the veteran teams need to look at in Dennis Schroeder. And people are like, "But Dennis Schroeder isn't that good." He would by far be the best point guard on the Rockets roster right now, including Reed Shepard. I know everybody's hype with Reed Shepard when he comes in the game and hits 6 threes. I get it. I got it. There are reasons to why Reed Shepard doesn't play, gets taken advantage of religiously defensively when he's on the court. Right? Um, so I I think they should have got a point guard at the trade deadline. I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. I really don't understand why that didn't happen. That really blew my mind that the Rockets just stayed pat and didn't get a point guard. Um, what up, Carlos? Let me see a few questions in the chat. Let me see. Uh, Sengun's, he's just not good enough to be a starting five. He's gonna explode defensively. Yep, absolutely. I think for the Rockets to move forward, people aren't gonna like to, you got to get off Sengun, bro. I don't see a world in Sengun where he's a good enough like offensive engine or good enough role player to be on a championship aspiring team. Like if Sengun starts for your team and you have, let's say you have like 2 or 3 better offensive players than him and he's starting, what exactly is he going to do on a role player basis to enhance the starting lineup? It's not like he's going to enhance your defense. He's not a shooter, so he's not going to like enhance any off ball play or be a good off ball player. He's not a good paint finisher for him to be an effective pick and roller for a predominant ball handler or pick and roll player. Like what he doesn't have, he's not a good enough. So it's kind of like the Paulo situation to where like, but Paulo's better than Sengun. Sengun is not a good enough star, but all of his positives as a player come in a star role. Like he has to kind of be the offensive hub or a big part of your offense for you to be getting any value out of him. But that value doesn't equate to the level of role that he has to be anyway. You see what I'm saying? So now it's like, what do you do with him? What do you do with him? If Sengun is on a playoff team or let me say a championship aspiring team, the the best I can see for him is like being an off the bench 6 man that can like people keep saying Ennis Cantor. I don't want to be that disrespectful because he probably is better than Ennis Cantor, but that's kind of like that's damn near the comp. I'm not gonna lie. It's damn near the comp. He's better than Ennis Cantor, but that's damn near the comp, unfortunately. So I really don't know. I think you have to trade Sengun. I think you got to trade him. You got to trade Sengun. It wouldn't hurt to trade Jabari either at this point. It wouldn't hurt to do that either. Now, I'm still high on Amin Thompson. I think Amin Thompson can still see Amin Thompson at least provides high quality role player attributes. Great defensive player, really good rebounder, can pass. You know what I'm saying? Like this, there are some role player things Amin Thompson can do. I do think you can be able to get off Sengun because somebody will convince themselves that he's young enough and he has potential. Like it'll be somebody dumb enough to do it. It's the NBA. There's always somebody dumb enough to do it. But yeah, Sengun is which these kind of players are still needed in the NBA because I keep trying to tell you, bro, there are 30 teams. Somebody got to be the best player, even on the bad ones. Sengun just screams a career of being the best player on mid to bad teams. That's what he is. He's that guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his team makes the playoffs every other year or something like that to get bounced out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the league not finna be goddamn LeBron and Kobe. Like everybody, you know, uh somebody gotta be Kevin Martin in the league. Salute. When he was on the Kings. You feel me? Somebody gotta be Monte Ellis. Salute to the Mississippi Bullet when he was in Golden State putting up 27 on a 35 win team every year. Somebody got to be Elton Brand. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be there in the league. Everybody ain't going to be the best of the best in the league. Bad teams need best players too. That's what Alfred Sengun is. He's going to be the best player in Sacramento in about 3 years. That just kind of is what it is. What it is. It is what it is. Somebody got to be Sabonis. Speaking of the Kings, somebody got to be Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? They had that one good year. Surprised everybody. Got bounced in the first round. You know? So that's the conclusion on the Rockets. They're mid. They're a first round exit. They might could win around if they play the Lakers. You know, but some of these, bro, some of these people they gotta go, bro. Sengun gotta go. If the Rockets plan on trying to win, when Kevin Durant is on the team, Sengun has to go. It's just that simple. It's really that simple, guys. It's really that simple. They got to get some shooting on that team. Um, a defensive anchor would be nice. So it's unfortunate that now what Mars said on PC was true. The one good thing about accelerating the process, because I did say like I didn't like how Kevin Durant has come over here and just he accelerated the timeline. And to me, like I said, the team just wasn't good enough yet. Even with Fred VanVleet, to me, it was still kind of a long shot of the Rockets like winning a championship this year. I just didn't think they were good enough. I didn't think Amin Thompson was there yet. I still don't believe he's there to like win a championship right now. Sengun's not there. Um, Tari Eason arguably still isn't there. Reed Shepard definitely isn't there. But the accelerated timeline has shown, hey, Sengun's he's not the guy. He's he's just not the guy. He's not the guy. So that will conclude my Rockets talk. Um, let me see, what time is it? Because I actually got somewhere to be at 3:45. Um, Make sure y'all watch the video I just dropped today. Shout out to the 200 in here again. Make sure that you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and turn that notification bell on so you know when we're live and when we drop another video. Watch the video I just dropped. It's about how old heads worship Michael Jordan and just think that he is Jesus Christ himself. It is actually pathetic. I'm hearing that Michael Jordan would just come into the league and shoot 40% on 10 3-point attempts again. Like, bro, they just say like the most nonsensical stuff and swear it makes sense. It's the most annoying thing I've ever seen. The Jordan glaze is just a wow. You know what I'm saying? It's just wow. Now, before we get out of here, y'all know we have a little lesson before we get up out of here. And it's gonna be real basic today. Gonna be real basic, real they just had a GOAT segment on First Take today. See what I'm saying? Lowe actually predicted that because I think Michael Jordan said something about like the GOAT debate on NBC. And so, you know, how predictable they are. Very quick though, very simple. Do not let your past define your future. Do not let your past define your future. There are a lot of people who get stuck in their past, either from making mistakes or mistakes being done to them, causing a lot of trauma in their life, right? Causing a lot of self doubt or anything like that. But do not let your past define your future. You can always come back, you can always bounce back. It's never too late. It's never too late. You know what I'm saying? If you let your past define you, you're going to let your past. I thought I was going to have some slick shit to say right there. I didn't. I ain't going to lie. But that's it. Don't let your past define you. Now, as far as the games tonight, what will we be streaming? I will definitely be here to stream the Nuggets versus OKC. So make sure that y'all pull up to that. Again, turn your notification bell on so you know when we go live. Make sure that you go back and watch the video I just put out earlier today about Michael Jordan and the Glaze. And I just appreciate all the support that I've gotten recently, man. The videos are doing great. These Monday lives are doing great. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for all of that, man. Y'all are definitely showing up and showing out. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the super chats as well. All super chats definitely help. And yeah, I will see y'all later tonight for Nuggets Thunder. That'll be in about 3 hours. I think the game starts at like 6:30 my time, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. Make sure y'all pull up. We will be here watching the game. And until next time, it's been real. Peace, man.